Hello, everyone. I'm New York Pete, the co-host of Interfleet Broadcasting with my best friend Chris, also known as the Tipsy Toaster. And we want to thank you up front for joining us on our news and pop culture sci-fi entertainment channel. And full disclosure, we grew up watching 70s and 80s TV, movies, cartoons, and we bring our unique spin to our little corner of the universe. And everyone needs to know that we are big Battlestar Galactica fans. Stop waving your hands, Chris. It's not
like
helping.
the sun came out in here.
It is. It's one of the son of Kobol.
Oh my gosh. Let's see if I can reach this thing and turn it down.
Or is it the star of Count Iblis?
Maybe.
Maybe. All right. Well,
still a little
either
bright.
Way,
future's so bright, you got to wear
be.
shades. Or the broadcast
That's
is so
right,
bright, I have to wear shades.
You should be wearing sunglasses or a
I don't wanna
Cylon visor.
Yeah, I don't want to stand up now because I would be showing you what I don't want you to look at. I'll change it when we go over. Not that I'm not wearing pants. I'm wearing pants.
Your pajama pants.
I'm wearing nice tan pants. It's just rude to stand up and do that.
That's right.
So I'll do that.
Right.
I'll do that later. I'll try to fix that later. Till then, you'll just have to deal with the glare off my forehead.
Well, listen.
Just the shininess of me alone. What can I say?
Yeah, that's good enough. Stephen.
Which side is
Lola. Let's see. Eric is with us. James is with us. Kim is with us. Rob, of course. Rob Baum. Chuck Davenport. Let's see. Colin. Karen. Papa Palin is watching. Thank you for joining us. Let's see. Steve and Rob. Yeah, excellent. Guys, as you pop on, give us a heads up so that we can acknowledge. Thank you for tuning in. And we have a guest tonight. We have an author. J.Z. Foster, so as soon as he comes up, we'll be bringing him on. Of course, we have Tiny Bean. Tara is with us doing her...
Tiny Beanish.
It's Tiny Beanish, but it's our little corner of the galaxy of the universe where Tara gives us insights and some, critiques and analysis on some really good TV that's out there. And we're gonna talk about some pretty cool things tonight because I believe that Tara is caught up with some of the cool stuff that's on TV. We're going to talk a little bit about that.
Those spoilers alerts for The Mandalorian yet, because I haven't seen it yet. I tried to watch it, but my daughter said no, because she hasn't watched the first season. I'm like, well, that's too bad. I want to watch it.
Steve McCormick just told us that Ann Lockhart will be attending AllCon on Saturday, 18th of March.
I think she lives in that area.
Wow, that's awesome. As a matter of fact,
awesome.
Hollywood signing was in California not too long ago, and it was Sarah Rush and Lorette Spang was there, and I didn't realize, but Ann Lockhart was also there as well, so the three of them were there, and that would have been really cool if we could have made it out to that. However, Yeah, it would have been. We didn't even know they were going to be there. We had no idea. Surprised they didn't. Nobody notified us. So let's do the. We're going to do our
do
toast.
The something.
Yeah, the toast.
Hang on, we'll pull up you, Pete, while I read through the beer for the evening.
Okay. Yes. There you
go.
The
beer for the evening is Coyote Hole Apple Pie, Dutch apple pie.
Oh boy.
1 pint, 6.5% alcohol by volume. Apple pie is the iconic autumn dessert, along with hot apple cider. Leaning on our Dutch heritage, we had to bring this iconic fall flavor into one of our hard ciders, blending a unique mixture of our green apple hard cider with Dutch apple pie spices, bringing you a wonderful autumn-flavored treat. Coyote Hole is a family-owned and operated small-batch hard cidery located at Lake Anna, Virginia, my local area, out this way.
Nice.
So we have apple pie, and it's your favorite, Pete. It's a cider. Yes.
I love cider.
And I've got I can't see it right now, but it's my Squadron glass. Ready?
Yeah. Ready?
All right.
1, 2, 3. All right. Okay. All right. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Let's not making faces.
Ready?
Just pour it out. Ready? Go. All right.
It's definitely a cider. It looks like water.
It's crystal clear. It's interesting.
It smells.
They're not always crystal clear, you know.
Like apple pie.
It's clearer than ginger ale, which is awesome. But anyway, we toast. We toast. We have a toast.
Wow.
Scott, thanks for joining us.
See me through the glass.
And yeah, you can. Oh, okay. So that famous, yes, okay, the famous bathroom sound. We toast everyone. We really enjoy and appreciate all of you guys that are watching with us live. And then for those of you that are going to watch us later, we also appreciate you as well. So we toast to everybody out there. Chris?
That's right, because the fans are the people who fuel the fleet. So that's why we say fans fuel the fleet, and this one's for you.
Cheers, guys. Fans fuel the fleet. Wow, that's bizarre. It has a very bizarre taste. Okay.
I don't know. It's apple. It does taste like apple. Wow. Now it sits in there a little while. It does taste like apple pie. A lot like apple pie.
Yes. After the fact. After the fact.
It's got to sit in there a second. Yep. It's got to sit in there a second.
God.
And it's really good after that.
Yes, but
you don't like it?
Initially,
it's like, I don't taste anything. And then you get the apple pie hit.
Yeah, it's a little weird in the beginning, but then the aftertaste is completely all
apple pie.
Like apple pie. So
that's pretty good. That'll go down.
Is there an
easy.
apple pie a la mode version too, Eric? Probably.
Probably. It's only 6.5% by about 6.5% alcohol. I'll try that one more time. And I've just started drinking, so shouldn't be this kind of.
Wow, that's incredible.
It is nice. I like it.
Cool.
It's definitely a yellow too, boy. It is really, really yellow. That's kind of hard to see on screen, but
it is.
Okay, so look how clear it is.
It does have a little bit of a yellow.
It's very clear.
Mm-hmm.
Very clear.
All right. Well, that's all good. That's all good. We're gonna bring you. Let's get Tara on.
Are you sure?
Yeah, just bring Tara right on right now. I want to hear what Tara has to say.
Okay.
Yes.
Give me a
do
second.
it right now.
Right now.
Okay.
Give me a second.
Yeah.
Hang on. I gotta find her audio clip.
We have slides too for her. Don't forget the slides.
Oh crap. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Talk for a second.
That's why I said it. All right, I'll talk. All right, so tonight, like I said, we have Tiny Bean. Hey T, what's up? You good?
Yes, how's it going?
Good. So we got a bunch of stuff going on, including we're going to talk about some of the cool things that you looked into. So you delved into some stuff, SAG Awards and the like. So we'll talk a little bit about that, and then you're going to mention, of course, The Mandalorian and Picard, I think, right? And there's some cool stuff going on. Also, we'll bring up a little bit of the Stranded Warrior as well afterwards, after you give your.
I can show off the knife in its full glory tonight. I still can't ruin the. I can't ruin it because, I haven't put the special symbol on it yet, so I can show it off tonight. And once the special symbol goes on, I can't show it.
Yes, you can. All right, good.
Oh,
do it.
I'm very excited. All right. Well, if you guys are ready, I will.
Yeah, I think I'm ready.
Oh, you good? Okay, fantastic. Well,
I think I'm ready.
Thinking is good.
Yeah, we'll find out. The week I've had so far, we'll find out.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
All right, guys.
There we go.
Welcome back to Tiny Bean's Corner of the IFB, where we discuss new and interesting shows, films, and pop culture that I think IFB fans would appreciate. We've got lots of fun stuff to discuss tonight, so let's dive right in. First up, fans of the corner know that I have a soft spot for all things offbeat and ridiculous. Well, have I got a doozy coming for you. Bram Stoker's immortal Dracula has been terrorizing audiences since it was first published in 1897 and has seen countless film, TV, and stage adaptations. Up next is a somewhat comedic film that focuses on, shall we say, a Dracula supporting character? Renfield, directed by Chris McKay, will star the charming Nicholas Hoult of X-Men and Mad Max glory in the title role. This telling of the Dracula takes place in the modern world, and it focuses on the hapless Renfield as he endeavors to assist his underworld-dwelling overlord Dracula. And did I mention that Nicolas Cage is playing Dracula?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, just look at these images, guys. I am fairly certain that Cage will chew up multiple necks along with chewing the scenery here. And the trailer is hilarious. Please check out the trailer. This one appears only on April 14th, which also happens to be my birthday. So really looking forward to this, and I hope you guys will join me in checking it out. This next big screen project I have been following very closely, and I know I've been talking about it to fans. One of my all-time favorite Larson shows was The Fall Guy. And as we've talked about, they are currently a new movie version starring Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt. So excited for this. But the big news of this week is that the one and only Lee Majors will be joining the film. So,
heck yeah.
Yay! Right? News just dropped that he got the call this week, and he enthusiastically agreed to sign on. That alone makes it worth it in my book. But for added fun, there have also been some on-set shots that have leaked us, and yeah, they have Colt's truck. I mean, you got it, right? But you never can tell with remakes, so seeing the pic confirms it, and that is just fantastic. So, lots of exciting word coming out from the set about all of the cool action sequences they are filming. It looks amazing. I celebrated the news of Lee Major joining this week by rewatching the first episode of the series. And
oh, you did? I love it.
Magic! Oh, it's so much.
I think that's the first one where Glenn Larson's son, Eric, gets hit by a car.
That's right.
They're always trying to kill him off.
He told that story right on IFB. That was amazing. So I feel like if they can capture even a fraction of that spirit, it's going to be a hit. But they had damn well better use the unknown stuntman as the theme, or I'm going to be upset. So. So that's where we land on that one, guys. And now, here in the corner, we talk about lots of different shows in different genres, etc. And it was completely wonderful to hear the results of the SAG Awards last week. Most and actors that we've talked about won, including Everything Everywhere All at Once for Best Picture. Yeah, it's my pick for the upcoming Oscars, too. All of the nominees from the including Star Trek royalty Michelle Yeoh, the great Jamie Lee Curtis, and, of course, Short Round, a.k.a. Data, Ki-Yu Kwan, with the best comeback story of the year. So see this film, guys. You won't regret it. We also talked a lot about the series that was on Hulu last summer. Remember the restaurant show that with the completely justified spoilers? Well, the star of that, Jeremy Allen White, also walked away with an award. And last time I was on, we talked about how great the miniseries 1883 is. And boom, Sam Elliott took home the award for it. Not in the least surprised. He is in on this show.
Oh, he's amazing.
And, right, that's like, I'm still blown away, and I still want to go back and rewatch because it's really one of the best miniseries I've seen. Definitely check that one out, guys. And Jason Bateman took home his last award for the final season of Ozark, which is still incredible, even if Tipsy disagrees with me.
First two were great.
Yeah. Well, if you haven't seen any of these shows, guys, and you're looking for something cool to watch, check these award winners out. They are totally worth your time. And now, on to the two shows we have been waiting months for, Picard and The Mandalorian, beginning
Woo!
with Picard. Oh my gosh. New episode just dropped today. Haven't seen that one yet, but
Not
hearing
yet.
good things. Oh, I know, right? I absolutely loved the first two episodes. Absolutely loved them. I mean, as always, keeping the corner as free as possible. I will say going in, you know you were going to be reunited with all the stars of the next generation. But I was unprepared by how seamless the integration is of bringing in. I mean, they're coming in a few at a time, as it seems, but it is so well in the script. And the actors, well, it just feels really genuine. You can absolutely sense that these are performers who have worked together for a long time. They know how to interact with the cameras, and the results are just right. It's like they just picked where they left off a few years ago. So, Jonathan Frakes, I think, is a standout here with his dry delivery of humor. My favorite, alluding to their age. He says at one point there are potential bad guys coming. He says, as long as we don't have to run or shoot, we'll be fine. Oh, that was just beautiful. So, you know the original guys are up to the task here, but I would like to commend two of the newcomers, Todd Stashwick as the guy you love to hate, Captain Liam Shaw, and Ed Spielers as Jack Crusher. I think they are both really terrific. Captain Shaw is dynamic, and he provides great foil to unfold aboard his ship. So, like him or not, he's there, and he's done some pretty cool stuff. And fans of Downton Abbey and Outlander may recognize Ed Spielers. He's a very charismatic young actor, perfect for a role that is most definitely going to be very important. I'm really loving this one, guys. I hope you're with me on this. I'm just going to be so sad to see this one end. Oh, and P.S., just heard word that the spinoff on the life of Worf is, in fact, in the work with Paramount. You know, we talked about that a little last time.
Whoa.
They just dropped the word today. It is legit, and it is going to happen. So
Whoa.
that's amazing news. Right? Yes.
That's nuts.
And now, right? And you were just talking, they talked about it on the panel, and I was like, I couldn't believe I heard that news today. So
I see. They'll do Worf, right? But Star Wars won't do Jar Jar Binks. I get it. See how it is.
It's a travesty.
It's a travesty.
And hey, last but not least, last night finally dropped the first episode of season 3 of The Mandalorian. Just delightful. Again, spoiler here as much as possible in Tiny Bean's Corner, but I don't think this one will deceive you. Jon Favreau in the writer's seat has done very well with this franchise. I think the future of Star Wars is very safe in his hands. Special effects, love the flight scenes, of course. Grogu is just equal parts cool and hilarious. Love Paul Weathers back in what I'm hearing will be a solid recurring role. And Pedro Pascal, I mean, what can I say? He's taking over our television this season between The Last of Us and this, and I am all for it. I hope you guys are along with me for the ride. And it looks like both of these shows are giving us exactly what we've been waiting for. And that's what's in the corner with this week. So back to you, Pete.
Excellent. Well, a couple of things. First off, Baz from Down Under says hello. Lola, of course, says hello. And your mom, Karen, says hello to you and to Jeff, of course, and to us.
And she also says, why haven't you called?
Yeah, of course. And speaking of Jeff, I want to announce this right here now that none other than your brother Jeff has been cast in a small part of the Stranded Warriors. So he will be on set. He's worked on stage. He's worked on film and productions that I've produced. So we're honored and happy to have him on board as well.
Yeah, it's great that we suckered him. I mean, we got him on board.
and of course, you're going to be playing an instrumental character
in blue.
The colonel of a Battlestar in the Stranded Warriors. So we'll say no more, but you're in, and we're happy to have you. And we're casting. We're down to one last part, and today, Chris, it looks like our friend and fellow producer, Mr. George Zuvalos, has reached out to another actor, and I think we may have our second to last character cast. So we'll talk more about that later. Yes.
Karina?
Yep. Yes.
Exciting.
Yep. So we're filling it all up, and we're moving ahead, guys. George Giacomis in the house. George, thanks for joining us. He's at work on set right? somewhere in Manhattan, but he's taking some time off. Matt Ferd is on as well. Thank you for joining us, guys. Appreciate it.
Hey, Matt, things are going well here, buddy. I'll reach back out to you. I forgot to call you back, so.
All right. Well, with all of that said, we are moving ahead, and I'll tell you, Tara, I did watch. I'm caught up with Picard. I'm caught up with The Mandalorian.
I'm not.
And I started watching a show that Jeff, your brother, he sent me a text, and he had mentioned watching Station 11, which you, I believe, had covered last year. You brought it up. So I've been binge watching that. It's good. It's actually very good.
Fantastic.
So, yes.
Thank you. Oh, I'm so glad. It's honestly, it's based on one of my favorite books. I read the book and I couldn't put it down. It's on Apple, right?
Oh, that's why
I forget if it's Apple or
no, it's actually on HBO Max. It's on HBO Max, and it's
that's it. I want to have. I was that close this week. I was that close to getting HBO Max. I'm like, I'll wait. I'll wait, because I wanted to see Last of Us, and then now this one.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta.
Yeah, this one's good.
Yes,
this one's good.
Totally worth it.
I'm still catching up with some things. Like I just started watching Moon Knight, so.
Oh, Moon Knight. Yeah,
what do you think?
Good.
I like it. It's very. I like the references to the Egyptian stuff. I think it's really interesting the way they tie that into the character.
Right.
And even the song, the title song is in Egyptian by an Egyptian artist. So I thought it was pretty interesting. So far I like it. So far I'm thinking 3 episodes in. So
yeah,
I think
it's fun. Let's do a review when you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Pete, did you watch the latest Picard that just dropped today?
I haven't seen it yet.
No.
Okay. Yeah, not
today.
I'm like,
but
it's gonna be good.
But they all die.
Then excellent. No, they don't. It's gonna be good then, because it's
the Cylons take over.
Written, well acted. Oh boy, yeah. You wish, don't you? You wish. Let's see. Baz, you got to go, man. He's in the middle of some knife symposium. Fans feel the fleet. Thank Spaz for tuning in. Appreciate it, and we'll keep up with your great work.
Yep, buy Blades for Baz.
Thanks for
Blades for Baz.
In, Mike.
The sharpest blade you'll ever buy. Blades for Baz.
The crew chief Mike is on. So, Mike, thanks for joining us from Texas. Appreciate it. Much appreciated. And so, we got our guys tuning in from all over East to West Coast and around the world. Thank you very much. I know that a lot of the fans really enjoy your segment, T. So thank you so much for doing that.
Oh, we enjoy it too.
And looking forward to
coming straight from the green room.
Looking forward.
Get used to that green screen look back there, by the way, if you're going to come down. That's what I've been working on a little bit this week while I've been keeping my mind off other things. I've been being just working on the, was it 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90,000 lumens worth of light we need for the green screen.
Yeah, and we're doing it. You got it all. You're setting it up as we. Yep. Well, it's happening. We have all the equipment is in hand. You're finishing up the lights, and you talking to me about how you figured out how to use a new technique to actually get it all together.
I'm learning new tools. It's great. It's like, wow, I need to put I need to thread sheet metal. Well, you can't thread sheet metal. Who knew they made pop rivets with actual threads in them? So you can put a pop rivet in and run a bolt through it. I was like, mind blown, problem solved. I'm good.
Problem solved. So, yeah, so that's where we stand with that. We're going to have the green screens are all going to be fully lit. As a matter of fact, T, since we're talking about it now, for the Stranded Warrior guys, that's our other project, we have 2 modelers that have reached out, and they're super interested in getting involved. We're going to check with our CG team, Chuck and Chris. They'll let us know how they want to proceed with that, but we have 2 modelers that definitely want to work on it. We also have another, a CG artist who's worked on a lot of fan films and productions. He's also very, very interested. And again, we're going to get with our CG team and find out where they stand with that. See if if they can use the help and what the vision or how it's going to play out. So we have people volunteering. As a matter of fact,
great.
Chris, right? You had somebody from Hollywood actually approach you for the soundtrack.
So, somebody called me the other day. I was like, out of the blue, I was like, "Hi, my name's so and so. I'm from Hollywood." I'm like, "Okay," and he's like, "Hey, so I want to send you a demo reel of my soundtrack stuff, and I would like you to consider it for your movie." I'm like, "Okay." Wow. I mean, like,
yeah.
I just, okay, yeah, we'll take a look at it. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, but we already have.
Next up is going to be like, Clint Eastwood or somebody calling up saying, "Hey, I really would like to play the commander."
And then you're
going to
say, "Yes, of course." Yeah. We're going to write you right in. New scene. However, we do have a couple of other announcements. We're going to have the cinematographer Joe McGee is now on board with the production, so he's going to be working behind the camera with us. Yes, and he worked on Once a Week for Life, and he's done a whole bunch of other productions and films. So he is going to be on set with us, and we're happy to have him. So thank you, Joe, for joining us, and thanks to George Zuvalos for making that happen. And of course, we're looking forward to talking, having that read, right, table read with Diana Durango and George Kiriakopoulos. And so we'll be announcing some of the new actors that are signing on. So as soon as we get them to sign the dotted line, we'll announce those as well, and then that would bring us to a full complement for the actors that are going to be on. So Tara, you're going to be in good company, and we're looking forward to having all this happen. And
just a side note, are you wondering how you can help? I bet you are. So if you would like to help, what we would like to say is go ahead and go to Indiegogo and look up The Stranded Warrior. We use your help financially because this is a fan film and we need money. So if you can help us out, that would be great. End of commercial.
Look, every little bit.
I love it.
Absolutely. Oh, and I forgot tonight.
Every little bit
I forgot. It's Tiny Bean Tara. Tiny Bean Tara, our movie critic.
Jazz hands, jazz hands, jazz hands. Yes, there you go. All right.
We're going to record that someday. We'll have it ready for you.
Yeah, that would be great. As a matter of fact, before you go, Tara, you need to know that Dorian Keyes, an award-winning author who's been he was one of our first guests many, many years ago when we first started. He's actually also a musician, and he is working exclusively with us, creating the soundtrack for The Stranded Warrior.
Yep.
And he sent over some demos, and they are phenomenal. Just phenomenal. It's all original music that he's made, and it's going to be used for our production.
Yeah, so he's got a little bit of the Ronald D or the Bear McCreary, and he's mixed it well.
He's mixed it well. It
Yeah.
sounds incredible. Sounds incredible, Tara. So stay tuned,
Yeah.
and we're looking forward to having you do a spot, Tara. You're going to come
Yeah.
back, and we're gonna talk to you a little bit about acting. And you teach acting. You've done theater. You've done a whole bunch of things in the industry itself. And so we're going to have you come back. We'll talk about what you're bringing to the actual production itself. And we're going to have a little, do a little spot just on that. We're going to feature all of the actors involved, and they'll talk a little bit about themselves and what you think of the production. And it's different when someone's a fan like yourself, and you bring that with you. So we'll talk about it.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. It's just such a dream come true to be involved in something that you've been a fan of your entire life. So, wow.
It's on our end, too. I was like, I don't care what it takes. This is going to happen. We're going to make this happen.
I'm wearing a uniform. I'm fine.
There's going to be a movie. There's going to be acting. There's going to be CG. There's going to be death and dismemberment of colonials and Cylons winning.
Stop it. Calm down. And
worlds destroyed. And
almost see where we went. However, let's also then, we might as well throw in the fact that we are going to be submitting the screenplay to a couple of festivals, and we're also going to we're going to be applying early applications to some very specific festivals that are out there that are geared towards shorts like ours. And so that is on the horizon as well. And okay, so you know what, Tara? Let's also mention the fact that we are going to be going to some conventions that are coming up. And once we have The Stranded Warrior is out and about in all the film festivals, get ready, because we're going to be touring with the actual movie. So get ready for that.
Amazing. Okay.
We'll get on a small tour bus. We're going to eat cold cuts for days.
This big. And we
will be holding signs on the side of the road that say, "We're out of gas. Please help us get to the next con."
The next con.
We're out of money. Please help us get to the next con. We need gas and food. So. And we'll have a Cylon out there with a sign doing it. So that way they can not feel too intimidated.
Perfect.
Give us the money or die. If we only had that kind of influence.
Yes, of course. But we're going to do some things. We're going to be out there, and we're going to have a lot of fun with this. So we are very, very happy that you're with us. Thank you, Tara, for joining. You right from the get-go, awesome. You were like, "Yes, I'm in. I'm committed." You were all for it, and so we're really, really happy that you're doing it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, guys. I cannot wait. It's going to be the best.
Oh, it's going to be great. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, let me sign off then, and you guys have a great night. I'll be watching, and I will check in soon, gang.
Good night.
All right, cool. Thank you, T.
Guys.
Stay safe. And let's see. Mike DeBruin wants to know, we're actually drinking something called Coyote Whole Apple Pie Dutch Apple Pie Cider. That's what we're drinking. So that's up. And we want to mention that Hea Thur is watching. Thank you for tuning in live. Very cool. Let's see. Lola, Dragon Con, of course. There will be a screening of The Stranded Warrior for Dragon Con. I believe we'll have it in time.
I don't know if we'll have it edited by then.
To June. We'll definitely have a trailer. You're going to have a trailer, hands down. There will be a trailer for Dragon Con. And cider is king, Mike. And we will...
Cider sucks. No, I mean, stout's better.
Cider. Cider to you. To all of you.
Stout.
To Mike.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to have a really, really good time. But there's a lot of cons that have their own film festivals. So we'll be sending The Stranded Warrior once it's ready out there. So it's going to go into a circuit of certain festivals as well as the conventions itself. And we are we're capitalizing on all that. I've been looking at this, looking into
Sorry
it.
about that. I was getting ready to hit the
Last
mute
couple of
button and didn't sneeze.
Didn't sneeze. But yeah, so in the wings somewhere out there in the cyberware world should be Mr. Foster.
He was there for a little while, and then I lost him.
Okay, and then he was lost.
Oh, wait, there he is.
And he'll be found again.
I found him.
He'll be there and back.
The
and
lost
now we got
shall
him
be
again.
Found.
That is correct.
Here we go. Ready?
That is correct.
Stand by.
Yes, let's do it.
And I get his audio. Give me a second. I got to scroll
Okay.
all the
good.
way up here.
Chris Marshall's with us. Hey, Chris, what's up? I
Hit
mentioned
the
you.
audio button, and now we should have audio.
Excellent.
Hello.
J.Z. Foster, what's up? Urban fantasy and horror writer with multiple series on Amazon. What is going on? You were in Korea for a while, and now you're here. You've been writing. You're doing stuff. Do you do conventions also?
I do some conventions, but actually I am still in Korea.
You are?
Holy crap.
Yeah.
We actually hit a new continent tonight.
No, I lived in Korea. I moved back to America for 5 years, and now I'm back in Korea now. So I'm not currently doing any cons. All internet stuff now.
Does Korea have cons?
Not any that I would be able to attend.
Oh.
Only as a fan. So yeah, I don't think I could sign any of the Korean cons.
Huh. Be kind of cool.
Oh, man. Well, thanks for joining us, Jay-Z. We really appreciate it. And your books
Thanks for inviting me.
are pretty. They're all, we're big sci-fi fans, and our audience is a big, sci-fi, fantasy, and horror audience. And we enjoy bringing authors on of all different types. And tell us about your world building, right? You're going to tell us about the books. You'll tell us about your world building, a little bit of your technique, and then we're going to push where we can get these, and we'll get into that.
Well, I'm really into the movie Aliens. I'm sure you guys have seen
Aliens,
Aliens, right?
Yeah, Gaska.
Yeah. That was life-changing for me. So that was really the inspiration when I wrote this, the military and the horror version of it. And I'm really into history and politics like that. So I just took all this and mixed it into one novel series, and I built it. So I wanted to make an alternate world where the Cold War was still going, and there was an alien invasion. So that's pretty much the premise of the whole novel there. So if that sounds interesting to you, you would like the book.
Well, which one of all your series is it?
That's a Reality Bleed. That's pretty much, I've been writing that for the last few years. Let me see if I got it. So here's book one. This is a sci-fi horror series called book one is called Hell on Mars, but the series is called Reality Bleed. So this is my first sci-fi series. My other books were urban fantasy and horror.
Wow.
This will be a 12-book series. Sorry, go ahead. I think I've got a little lag, so I don't mean to talk over you, but sorry about that.
12-book series, but you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it 5 in this series out now?
I've currently got the first 9 out, so I'm writing this is book 9. I've got book 10 on the way right now.
Wow. That is incredible.
Mm-hmm. Here's some trivia. The covers are done by Ukrainian artists. So they were actually, unfortunately, making the cover Hell on Earth as the Russians were invading them, which really fits the premise of my book too. There's a Soviet Union and everything, and so it all kind of ties in there. And they're still making the covers for my book during this war. They've made the last few covers already. So it's a crazy world.
Unfortunately, it is. So, all right, so that's Reality Bleed. Now you have the other series, which are Witch Hunter, The Wicked Ones, Mind Wreck, Harrowing Horrors, are all part of which ones are these now that I just read off? These are other series, I think.
These are all just different series. So I don't have all of them with me right now, but I've got the Wicked ones. So that's a series unto itself. But this is a horror novel series. It's about changelings. I don't know if you guys know changelings. So these are like creatures that come in the night, take people's children and leave their own for mysterious reasons. So
they can have mine.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this one is a pure horror novel, so there's not really much comedy in it. But then Witch Hunter, which I don't have a copy of right now, is like a horror comedy. That was my first novel.
Wow.
And then the Harrowing Horrors are like short stories books.
How many books are in the Witch Hunter series?
Currently, there's 2. I plan to do more. I just got caught up with Reality Bleed, so I started doing that. But I think I was well into Witch Hunter 3 when I had to pause it for a little while. So I'm planning on finishing Reality Bleed up to book 12, and then I'll go back to my other stuff.
Okay, so what about the Wicked Ones?
Well, that's this one with the changelings.
Okay.
So this one I hope to do more books in this series, but I haven't gotten to that yet either. I've got a lot of ambition and not as much time as I would like. So
yeah,
that's quite okay. That's quite okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So then the question is, how do you keep these worlds straight? How can you jump back and forth?
The funny thing is, when I talk to my wife, like she's always asking me, "You forgot about this, you forgot about that." But when it comes to like my novels, I don't know what it is. I can remember all the characters, where they are, who their names are, what their nicknames are, and all this kind of things. Like that stuff is all clear in my head. Like where my wife leaves the towels, that part's a little murky. I don't know why that is.
Or what she asked me to do last week, yesterday, or
exactly, yeah,
2 hours ago.
Why? I asked her, like, this was a couple months ago, but she always brings it up. I asked her, I'm like, is this your pillow or mine? And she goes, you don't know whose pillow that is? I'm like, I don't know. She's like, how do you write those books and everything? We've got, like, politics and things going on. I'm like, I've got my brain centered on that. I don't have it centered on whose pillow is which.
Jay-Z, how many hours a day do you write?
Oh, geez. Lately, I have not done as much. You can see these boxes back here. This is still from the move we made back to Korea, so... Unfortunately, I've got this mess going on in the background, but hopefully nobody will mind. But on a good day, I'll do like 4 or 5 hours. But I've gotten back here. We've gotten settled. It's been a little bit murkier. My daughter's been on spring break, so there's been 0 writing time when she's been on spring break. So we've been watching a lot of Ninja Turtles, so that's been good too.
Ninja Turtles are always good. So what do you see? Now, you told us that your one series, Reality Bleed, I believe it was, you said it's going to go for 12. You're like 9, so you're going to be wrapping that up. And then are you going to jump over to one of the others? Or how do you figure that out? How does that work?
You know, when I first started, I always went with this idea, like, write what you love. Which I do. I do love everything I write, but... there's also a business aspect to it too. So whichever series is, flowing, whichever one's working the best with readers, that's the one I stick with. So Reality Bleed has always sold the best and always got the most engagement. So I've been sticking with that. So if I finish 12 books, I have an idea for another 12 after that. It would be a story set later with with different characters. So I might go to there, but I want to get back to Witch Hunter and stuff. And I don't know. We'll see where we're at. I've got 3 more books to do, so at that point we'll see if I'll go 12 more books with Reality Bleed or back to Witch Hunter or something. Reality Bleed doesn't have a lot of comedy too, and I like to do a lot of comedy in my books. It's got a little bit in there, but not too much. Like Witch Hunter is it's got a lot of comedy in it, so I would like to do that again sometime.
Where do you draw your inspiration for this kind of stuff? I mean, this is a lot of work to begin with, but something must inspire you.
Yeah. Oh, I guess a lot of it's history. Like I like to read history more than anything else. So the kind of crazy stuff I read in history, like I couldn't put that in a book. Nobody would believe it. That's pure insanity. But I will tell you something funny here is that I co-wrote Reality Bleed, this first series, with another author, and this book is called Hell on Mars, and the premise is that this military team goes to Mars, and a black site group there has opened up a gate into another reality, and these demonic things come in. Now, if you've been with me and you feel like that sounds like the premise to Doom, it sounds very similar. But I did not play Doom and was not aware and was not. And after we put this out, everyone kept telling me, "Were you inspired by Doom?" It's like, no, I didn't play it. And apparently, there's a level on Doom called Hell on Mars.
Oh, no way.
I kind of just went with him and been like,
I haven't played Doom in forever.
I wasn't aware. But my co-author, he had played Doom. I'm like, why the hell didn't you tell me? So we just go with it now. It's got a similar premise, but yeah, it's there's a lot of politics and like I said, alternate reality mixed in there. So it stands on its own.
So Justin Woodward is your, I guess, co-author. How do you guys exchange? How does that work? How do you work that?
Well, I was like the director, so I wrote an outline and I came up with the premise, and then we would go through together and come up with what would happen in each chapter, and then between the two of us we would write them, and then we would both go through and edit them. So we were both inside, every chapter of each book. But these days it's just me writing it. So Justin, I think he wrote up to about book 6, and he had his mom had gone through some hospital procedures and stuff like that. He asked me if he could just head off, and I said no worries. So since book 6 it's been just me. But yeah, he helped with the first 6, and it was great working with him on everything. We were able to get him out really fast, and when the two of us were working together.
You have a question. One of our viewers wants to know, says, my son is almost finished Reality Bleeds. He is 10. He wanted to know how old you were when you decided you wanted to be an author.
Ooh.
Oh, he's 10? Oh, this is pretty brutal. But, oh geez, how old was I? I don't know when I decided I wanted to be an author. I was a dungeon master for a long time. So that was probably when I decided I wanted to be an author. Yeah. I played lots of D&D, but I was never a player. I was always a dungeon master. So that was probably it then. Because I was always writing stories and stuff then. But when I got older, I'm like, wait, I could do this for a living and get paid for it. So.
And there you go. How long you been doing this?
I started in... I think I started writing in about 2016, so a little bit before my daughter was born, and I didn't put the first book out until after my daughter was born in 2017. So since about then, at this point, I'm not sure exactly, it's always kind of murky in my head. I think I'm getting close to about 20 books, but they're not all, some of these are like novellas. Like this one is a thin size. This is I call them episodic, so they were... I had a season arc, and then I would have episodic books that would come out. So yeah, I've gotten 20, but they're not all full-size books.
Yeah. So
JC,
go ahead, Pete.
Do you want to do like a graphic novel?
I would love to do that.
I knew that was coming.
No, I've got a lot of ideas. I've got ideas for children's novels. I've got a graphic novel idea.
How do these ideas come to you?
You just wrap up the premise.
Just like you dream them, or you just walking around one day and say, that's a great idea, or how does this? What's the trigger that gives you an idea that starts a book?
I wish I knew. Yeah, I don't know.
I'd write more books if I knew.
All over the place. Yeah. No, my wife and I, we were watching a Korean movie, and I don't speak Korean. So we were in the movie theaters. I'm watching this Korean movie, and I don't know what they're saying, but I can figure it out based on what's going on. And it's a police comedy movie. And after that, I had the idea to write Wicked Ones. I started telling my wife, okay, there's these monsters. They come in the middle of the night. They take people's kids. I got this when we were watching a movie. And she's like, how are you watching a police comedy movie in Korean and you came up with the idea for the Wicked Ones? And I'm like, I don't know. I had the whole outline popped into my head there.
I was watching Barney and I came up with Jason. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the secret.
I don't know where they come from.
Is there a time of day that you like to write?
I like, well,
Are you a morning
between
person?
my like 5-year-old and everything, I like to write in the morning, but you got to squeeze out time wherever you can get it. So, yeah, preferably in the morning. When I'm tired, I can't. It's not easy to write. Drink some coffee and then write. That's the best way to do it.
Go ahead, Pete.
JZ,
I cut you off. I'm sorry.
On your website, you actually, I was looking at your site for a while now, and you have some free books that are up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've got off the top of my head, I'm trying to think. I've got Demon Weed, which I recommend if you like horror stuff. If you're not into brutal horror stuff, don't read it. You wouldn't like it. I always tell people up front, if you don't like the brutal horror stuff, don't read it. I've got another one called A White in the Dark. That is a book set in the Witch Hunter universe, so that's funny. I think most people would like that. And I can't remember, but I might have some free content for Reality Bleed, but it only really works if you're already reading the series.
Okay.
So yeah, those would be free books for anybody who wants to check out my stuff.
All right, and you have a blog. I don't know if you're maintaining it like day to day, but you definitely have a place to put stuff up. And you have your shop is there as well.
Yeah. yeah.
Your books are on your site, but I believe they're also on Amazon, correct?
Yes. Yeah, I think those links take you directly to Amazon. So if you went to Amazon and you typed in JZ Foster, you would be able to find them. And then on Audible too. I don't know if you guys have played Mass Effect. Have you played Mass Effect?
I actually have.
Yeah, so the guy who did the voice cast for Mass Effect, Andromeda, he was the voice actor for my Reality Bleed books. So he did a really great job. He added a lot to it, actually.
Very cool. So
what's it like to have your book read out loud? I mean, have you listened to the book? Of course, I guess you hired the individual. Did you listen to the whole book with him?
Well, I didn't hire him. Another, like a publishing company, contacted me and said that they wanted to produce the book into an audiobook. So they hired him.
Okay.
And he's good. He's good. I felt like he added a layer there that I didn't add myself. I felt like he added a lot to the story. So yeah, I think he did great.
I'm a big audiobook kind of guy.
And it was interesting hearing it read too.
Yeah, it's got to be, I always love the audiobooks because, I mean, I don't have time to read. So this is great information. I definitely have to pick one up now because
I do that myself, a lot of audiobooks and podcasts.
Who do you listen to? Who do you read? Who do you listen to?
Oh, jeez. You're going to call me out on this right now. I got to go look it up. I just pick up stuff and I just start listening to it. Let me see. What was the last thing I was listening to? Well, I listened to a lot of history stuff, so I just picked it up based on the topic. I don't know who the author was. The last fiction book, though, I've read. Jeez, little Pete's. Oh, Neil Gaiman, Sandman. Those are great books.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I read them.
One.
Yeah, I read those as comic books, too. And the audiobooks are great. Like, those are like another version of the story it's like reading it again, is what I'm saying. Because I read them as comic books, too.
What's your favorite time in history? I mean, you like to read history, so is there a specific time frame or a specific subject in history you like to get to?
Oh, geez. I like the Cold War, World War I.
Ooh,
I don't read so much about World War II because I feel like Yeah. World War I was brutal. Probably World War I. That's my favorite time period. That was a crazy time. Where you had, like, people riding in the battle on horseback with lances versus machine guns. It's just pure insanity.
Yeah. And you look at those kind of things and you think to yourself, I don't know if I could do that. I mean, that takes a lot of dedication to run into the enemy with machine guns, and you're there on a horseback with lances, and you're on, the mustard gas stuff that was going on and everything else. It's, you look back at those people, you're like, man, I don't know if I have the guts to do that. It's just amazing.
It was crazy times. I feel like historians are going to look back and see, like, our time period because they always write time periods of 500 years or whatever. They're going to see us as the fallout from World War One. Like this is all the world still shaken up from World War One. I feel like. Ugh. But that's me getting in the weeds, my crazy stuff. So I start talking about people.
Well, that's cool. Jay-Z, can we still get some autograph stuff directly from you?
Probably it would be hard to do. I would probably do book plates now. I did do a lot of autograph books. Being in Korea, the postage would be insane.
Oh my gosh, I bet. Yeah.
Yeah. If somebody wanted to, but yeah, I'd be better to like sign a book plate or something and send to them and insert in the front of the book or something like that.
Okay, cool. Very cool. Well, we are definitely looking forward to getting the audio versions of, personally, I'm going to try Hell on Mars, and that's my speed. I'm not sure where Tipsy Toaster is going to go. I don't know if it'll be the same.
I'm going to say ask Jay-Z. Jay-Z, out of the audiobooks, which one should I start with?
Well, you've only got one option. It's Reality Bleed. I haven't done the audiobooks for the other one, so that narrows it down for you.
Now, there you go. I mean, I was really sweating that decision.
Yeah. Well, there will be 3 audiobooks. There's only 2 out right now, though.
Okay, cool. Well,
the thing about audiobooks is I love to be able to, sometimes you'll get an audiobook and you're like, oh, I can't wait for the next one to come out. And then you wait for that long period of time for the next one to come out, and you're like, I don't remember the first one. So sometimes I'll wait for all of them to come out, and then I'll like blast them. Throw all my credits on the one thing and go bam, bam, bam. Get all 3 of them, or all 10 of them, or in your case, all 12 of them.
Well, the audiobooks are in sets of 4. So the first 4 books are in one audiobook.
Oh, that's...
Yeah. And then...
How many hours is that?
Because they're based on season.
Yeah, how many hours is that?
Geez, I don't remember.
24?
Maybe I'm wrong here, but I'm thinking it's over 30. Yeah.
Yep, 24, 30. Yeah, those are the bargains. I mean, everybody should that's a bargain. One credit, 30 hours worth of story. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's a no-brainer.
We're on that.
I think
we are all over it.
I think I could be wrong here, but I think the first book is actually free. Maybe if you're an Audible Plus member.
Okay.
I believe so.
Oh, write that down.
Don't quote me on. Nobody get mad if I'm wrong here. I believe my Podium, my publisher, told me that though. It's going to be free for Audible Plus people, I believe.
Don't worry. If you're wrong, we'll come hunt you down in Korea. We'll bring the van by. The black van will be visiting your house immediately. So
it'll be
a long drive. It'll be a long drive, but we'll put it on a boat. We'll get there.
Oh yeah, I think you're absolutely correct. If you are a subscriber, it looks right now like Reality Bleed Season 1, Books 1 through 4 are included.
I'll pull it up.
I just pulled it up because Chris has gotten me big into the audiobooks. This is how I was able to keep up with what's out there, because between my writing as well, Jay-Z, I had to take a backseat to reading, and then now I'm starting to catch up with the audio. And we have one of our good friends, Crew Chief Mike, says World War I sure inspired J.R.R. Tolkien, which he was definitely inspired by. So yeah, I mean, unfortunately, some of the better writing, TV, movies, etc. that are out there, of course, are always inspired or have a link to what has transpired. So that's just the way we are as humans, I guess.
All right, here you go.
It's true, yeah. I've heard that before, that like Mordor and everything was like inspired from World War One. So it's interesting.
Yeah. Oh, it sure is, right? Yep, there it is. There's the audios. All right, man. I am totally in.
I'd log in right now, but people would see my password. So.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting it.
But look, I
mean,
mean,
so cool.
It's a. I mean, regular price is $40. Like this one's $43, but you get 1 credit. I mean, I'm not selling Audible or anything. We don't get any credit for Audible. So 1 credit could buy you 23 hours and 45 minutes worth of listening. That's That's a deal.
Oof,
you know,
that's awesome.
That's a deal.
Yeah.
Sci-fi space horror.
I'm really happy with their production too.
Well, Jay-Z, thank you very, very much for taking the time out and spending your time from
what
Korea
time is it there, anyways?
Yeah, what time is it?
It is 11 a.m. right now.
Wow. Oh, wait, 11 a.m. The 3rd?
Yes. Yeah.
You are living in the future, sir.
In the future. Yeah. It's
wow.
You guys will look forward to it.
Hey, can you tell me what the winning lottery numbers are so I can?
I need to go look this up myself. Yeah.
You're living in the future. You get the lottery numbers. You can send them to me, and I can win.
Yeah. You could tell us what yesterday's lottery tickets or winning lottery tickets were in Korea, but not what you want here. So you forget about that plan.
Yeah.
I think it's so great that
JC,
you're joining us.
Thank you very much for coming on to the show. We look forward to your next release. So when you're ready for whatever's next, come back, and let's talk about whatever it is that you got.
Sounds great. Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it.
It's going to be great.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
And here's to you.
Once again,
Jay-Z,
you create
all the
fandom,
best.
sir. So fans feel the fleet. You're one of the people that create those. Thank you very much.
Here's to
Thanks. All right. Have a good day, guys.
you. You take care. Oh my God. So John 1, thank you for setting that up. Jay-Z, very cool. And now I know what I am going to be reading.
Yep, I got that in my
or listening to. So
I'll do that here
I'm
as soon
all
as I get
set.
off because I don't want to log in with everybody looking at my password.
Yeah, I'm already set up with that. And
Password
of
is
course, Jeff
Cylons
Walters-
rule, Colonials drool. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, Mike DeBrun says Tipsy's password is easy to guess. Killer Colonials 1.
You're close. It's Kill
Yeah,
Colonials.
K with a capital K. Yeah, no, it's not. But anyway,
Kill
yes.
Colonials 2. So anyways.
Yes, that's right. So John 1, thank you for setting that up. Very cool. So we had Jay-Z Foster, author of several different...
I can't believe we now
series.
have touched... That doesn't sound right. I was going to say we've touched Korea.
We've actually linked up with Korea live. Yep, we were live in Korea.
That's a first.
Just
I don't think we've ever done that before.
That is a first
We've
for
done
us. We've been to, was it
Philippines?
Singapore,
Philippines.
Singapore, yeah. So we've
was,
done some of that.
The CG artist from it was Philippines, right? Malaysia.
No, it was Malaysia. It was Malaysia.
That was a good interview too.
Yeah. So yeah, we've done that. That was really cool, and thank you very much. George Zuvalos was with us. I'm not sure if he's still on, but he popped on right when we were doing interview with.
And we will definitely have an interview with him probably in the near future, talking about his experience for the Stranded Warrior as well.
Oh yeah, leading up to, because he's obviously the star. He's going to be playing the character named Captain Martin. And we're looking forward to having that come to life, which will be.
I look forward to seeing. So when you as a screenwriter, as a person who has written this thing and envisioned it, and seeing all of it, I am so excited to see it played out, to see a visual representation of what's going on in my head, which probably is not a great thing all the time. But it's going to be great.
You're going to have to, from my personal experience, you're going to have to actually make sure that you take a half step back out of what's going on, because as the director, you're going to be looking and watching as the scene, develops, and sometimes it's like putting blinders on, and you'll be focused on capturing what the camera needs to grab for the film. You need to be able to take that 1 second. It doesn't happen often, but I've experienced this multiple times. I directed a music video, an epic heavy metal music video that was just incredible. But and I did worked on a couple of films, and I remember the first one that I did. I turned to actually George, my cousin George, who is the DP on that, the director of photography, and I said, "Hey George, I can't believe that all the words are coming to life right now, right in front of us as it's happening." So you got to take a second to do that so you can really
Yeah.
appreciate that. It's gonna blow your mind if you catch it. It'll blow your mind, Chris. It really will.
And
'Cause it's like,
you know, and
whoa.
the reason why we're doing this is for the fans to begin with. So, I mean,
Oh yeah.
I mean, we can't make any money off of it, but we really feel that we had a good story. Pete and I worked on a story together for the Stranded Warrior, and I think it just come to a fruition to the point where we both looked at each other and said, "Look, let's make this happen." I mean, anybody can write a story. Anybody can write fan fiction. Anybody can do this. He says, but if we have the means, the capabilities, and the people that we've met in this show, I mean, the amazing amount of fans, the amazing amount of support we get from the fans, that we could actually do a decent, well, we hope it's decent, we do a decent fan film, then let's do it. I mean, let's throw some money at it and go from that route. So I'm really excited about it, and you know, it's. I mean, this week has been, like I said, I'm learning all sorts of things. We've been trying to, you know, I think the original series, the 2004 series, talked about cutting corners, and that's why all their sheets had corners cut off of it, so they had that weird octagon-looking thing. We're cutting corners to try to make this happen. So we're looking at ways we can, you know, light green screens without buying or renting. Even a renting is almost expensive to buy or rent.
It's
lighting and things like that. So we're looking at ways of doing it. So later on, I'll show you how we do it. So yeah.
Oh yeah. A lot of details that go into this that everybody just takes for granted. Like, you wouldn't know if you're not actually involved in the production of the making of a project like this.
Yep.
You wouldn't know.
I'll be right back.
Right?
I'm going to go grab it's over there calling my name, so I'll be right back.
Okay. All right, cool.
You know
well, then there is a lot that goes into this, and I can start you from the logistics of providing meals for the crew, right? So for your actors and the crew, obviously you got to provide meals for them, and you got to have some snacks for them, and you got to have, we're going to bring a coffee maker because that was part of coffee and tea. It's got to be freshly brewed. We don't want to just, you know, have it out of a plastic container from, you know, the normal coffee place that you go to. So these are the small things that you have to provide. Obviously, you gotta, you know, you have to cater and you gotta pay for these. Not to mention getting everybody there and making sure that, you know, everybody's there safe, and the location. So the location of where all this is going to happen, obviously there's a cost that goes in with that to secure the location, and then, you know, the equipment that Chris was mentioning. So either you have the equipment, you borrow the equipment, you rent the equipment, or you buy the equipment. And in our case, we've had to actually purchase some of the equipment. We're not going to be able to borrow a lot of what we.
It was actually sometimes cheaper to buy some of the equipment than it was to purchase some of the equipment.
But so that's that. The cameras, we have to rent cameras. The cameras that we have at our disposal are not state-of-the-art cameras. So we had to rent those cameras so that we can get better than 4K. Otherwise, it wouldn't happen. So these are the things that go into, you know, getting a production like this on its feet and getting it, you know, to happen, and not to mention the uniforms. I mean, buckles, guys, right? The buckles that the Colonial Warriors on their jackets wear.
Yeah, we did that a couple weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah, we had a great supporter and a good friend of IFB, David Francoeur, who's actually put out some videos, and he's talked about, you know, what the costumes look like. And for that to look the way it does, we've had to purchase buckles. So we have it down to the bare minimum of characters that we actually bought, you know, the the buckles for, but we got to get those buckles separate. We got to attach them then to the costumes. We have to have many of them tailored so that they look decent on the actors themselves.
Right.
We had to buy patches, have patches put onto the costumes. All those little things cost. There's a cost that goes with that.
Yeah,
so every little bit
helps.
Every little helps. So everything
$10,
that you've donated,
throw it our way.
Throw it our way. It goes right into the production. Nobody gets paid.
Nope.
Like I told you earlier, there's volunteers that are coming out of the woodwork, and we thank all of you guys. Thank you so much for volunteering and coming and helping. And we're going to try to use everybody's talents to the best so that we can make this happen. And we want to showcase, remember everyone, we want to showcase Battlestar Galactica. We want to showcase the fans,
yes,
you guys,
the dedication
that
to
are
fans, yeah.
Yep. And the fact that BSG fans are just as capable to doing what we're doing than the Star Trek fans or the Star Wars fans, right? All of them, they got their stuff going. As we speak, there is Star Trek and Star Wars fan films being made and produced as we speak. We want to put and make sure that Battlestar Galactica is out there as well. We're gonna make sure that for whatever it's worth, we're gonna show that yes, BSG and the fans have talents and that we are equal to the challenge.
Yeah, and so I wanted to talk about some of the hours of research we've done in regards to just finding props and things like that. So I just wanted to kind of pull up tonight some research or some stuff that we've done in regards to, so the Colonials have collar devices, and the collar devices are for specific battle stars, and usually it's the battle stars, the collar device, not a squadron. You have a squadron patch, but you have a Battlestar device. And of course, the original Battlestar Galactica series used a military symbol, a military collar device that I can't remember off the top of my head. Somebody will probably drop in on and Pete will let
Intel.
Me know. Intel, yeah, the Intel military Intel site. So we have to make our own, and we could have gone and looked for one of those things. So I'm like, we looked at ourselves and said, how can we create a collar device? So you go online and you look at these places, and you're like, a lot of places are like, oh yeah, well, you give us a collar device outline or whatever else, and we'll make it for you in pewter or in whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, that sounds good. And then you start looking at the prices, and you're like, okay, you want $200 for 50. That's a little much. How can I, as a fan, create a collar device that looks good and is specific for our specific Battlestar? So we went and found a couple of different places, and these will be filled out actually pretty shortly. I think we're going to work on these tomorrow. But so you look at jewelry places, and you're like, okay, so the jewelry collar devices, whatever else, and then we found a company that sells these, and I don't know if you can see that very well, but that is just a specific piece of silver that has a recessed setting in it that we're going to put our collar device into. And then depending on how it comes out, we'll either acrylic over top of it or we'll leave it as is. So that's the silver one, and then this is the gold one. And if you have signed up on there's certain levels. If you're one of our levels that get the collar devices, this will be the basic start of your collar device. We will be doing the laser engraving on the inside and everything else to get this set up to the point where we'll actually wear these on the collars of the uniforms. So that's kind of the distance we're going in this. We're not making just a CGI movie. We're making an actual movie with props and uniforms and those kind of things. So, and speaking of props and uniforms, Mediocre Modeler, if you haven't checked him out, check out the Mediocre Modeler on YouTube as well as Facebook. And we know him as Calvin. He has sent me something so evil that it must be kept in a box that's there. So it's very important that we keep that set to the point where we're at. But this thing is evil. Let me start with that already. So let me get this out. he even had to create a special box for it. So this is the special box for this thing. And we'll have a video here shortly on how he created the box. Because, once again, if it wasn't for this box, multiple humans would be dead already because of the evilness that's inside. So here's the evilness inside the box. You ready? We've shown this a couple of videos and everything else. So we got that. Oh, look! 2 silver dots. That is it. That's it. That's the total. No, that's not it. So we'll grab the 2 silver dots and we'll pull these out, and we'll have the Cylon dagger.
Oh, put it back. Close it up.
Yep. Careful. It'll go through the screen and stab you in the eye because you are humans.
It will cut your finger right off just by looking at it.
He did such an outstanding job of this. We work back and forth, and you're talking about somebody who takes the concept of a Cylon sword, making it smaller, and we're back and forth on Messenger and talking about how what's our vision and what's everything else, and he takes that vision and he makes the vision into this device. And I can tell you one thing for sure.
Oh, but you're not supposed to handle it.
I can handle it. I'm Cylon.
It's gonna burn your fingers.
If it went to your house, it'd be a problem. So
it's gonna have burn marks.
I can tell you one thing for sure. It's damn sharp. I mean, this would definitely penetrate a good colonial without a problem. I can't wait to see it.
The soft spots on the Cylon finished.
So some things are going to be added to it. So inside of here, we're going to add something special inside of here that I'm not allowed to talk about. But I mean, he went all out on this thing and created it from a 3D print model and everything else. I cover my eyes with that. Anyways, so and then one of the other things we asked him says, you know what? During the movie, we're going to actually stab someone, and I was concerned, especially if you ever felt the tip of this thing. I mean, you could really kill somebody with this thing. That we might actually kill one of our actors because it's such an evil device to begin with, and the Cylon, device really wants to kill things. So I asked him, is there some way we can take the sharp point off? He said, oh yeah, I'll design that out. Watch this. Ready?
Nice. Excellent.
So during the movie, no humans will be harmed in the beginning of the creation of this movie. So, unfortunately. So he actually created a post system so we could take the sharp point off so we won't actually kill our actors, unfortunately. But talk about a tight fit. Oh my gosh, this thing is like, it's perfect. It's like,
boom.
I mean, and it's not coming back out like, it doesn't drop out. But that's the Cylon dagger. So this actually will go to somebody if they donate to the commander level.
Yes.
And this will be in the presentation box and everything else.
I think it's the colonel
level. Yeah. So, but I think it's so cool, and if you handle it, it's just it feels so good. I just want to go stab a human.
Yeah.
Because it's just what it is. I got to put it back in the box. It's getting really...
All right, put it away.
It's really affecting me.
Put it away before you get yourself in trouble.
It's affecting me.
You're going to cut your
fiercely.
thumb off.
So I got to...
Yeah, just take... put it away.
Hurry, put that back.
Yeah, put that back. So yes, we have props that have been made specifically for the movie, and you guys have seen the helmet, and now we have a Cylon dagger, and that's going to be prominent in the story itself, the narrative, and we are lining all the ducks up, guys. Oh, all right.
Thank God.
All right, all the chaos is now blocked up. Put it back. Put it back. Put it away.
So that's kind of a little bit of the background of stuff that's going on. So these are, like I said, the devices that we're going to be working on, and we actually designed a special device for the collars that represent the Helios. That's the battle star. So.
Well, anyhow. Mike, there's your answer.
What's that?
Mike asked something. Oh well, no, you wanted to know something about the colony. You will find that out in the movie, my friend.
Yes.
You will, Chief. You'll find that out in the movie. You'll get to find out what colonies are represented and the like, and yeah, it's gonna be cool. So right now, like I told you guys earlier, we are
We
ready
don't have
to
that
cast.
many to make. There's over 100 there we have to.
Yeah.
So we have plenty
are,
available for those people who do want to donate to the level that gets one of those.
That's right.
Oh.
Yes. And so
Hint,
that's
stab,
playing
stab.
out. We have the CG is coming along very, very well. I mean, we have our team, Chuck and Chris, are working on setting up all the interior for the actual shots for the battle stars, and so that's coming along incredibly. I mean, if you were to
talking
see
about it, I can find it probably. Give me a second. Just the interior shot.
Yeah, it's really, really cool, and I guess Chris wants to put it up. We'll put it up, and so that's being it's an interior picture that's being created from scratch by our CG team, and that's going to be overlaid using the green screen technology, and so we're putting together specific lighting for the green screen,
So here you go,
and
ready?
there's a special app that we have for the green screen to make sure it's perfectly lit, and then we'll have our characters
I'm operating on one
walking.
screen tonight, so
Yeah, so it's making you crazy. But yeah, so that's where it's going, guys. It's actually it's happening, and we're getting closer.
This is the original. If you remember the show, this is probably one of the scenes where I think it was in the pilot where they're walking down the hallway, and this is the CG recreation.
And that's not complete, guys.
Yeah.
That's just the the first
So here we are.
beta.
Before.
That's a beta. That is not done, but that is where we're going. So we're gonna have the hallways set up so that we can have our actors actually walk through the halls, the interior of the actual Battlestar as needed or as required. There can be plenty of scenes within the battle, the quarters of the Battlestars. So I'm going to do that and other things. So we are truly looking forward to the production. This is going to be filmed in May. So for those of you out there, if you have any friends or you know anybody else, we've been putting this out on all of the Facebook groups. Anyone in the New York tri-state area that wants to come in and you have a Colonial Warriors uniform, you will be a featured background actor. We will make sure that you get camera time. You will be recognized in the scene that we need with all the actual pilots. You will be there with the star and the co-star, and there will be a scene, and you will have you will be featured. You'll be in that scene as the camera comes around. You will get some FaceTime on that. So if you have the uniform, you will come on down. If you can make it, you will then be put into the actual Stranded Warriors. So we're hoping that you can make it before we have to. We're going to be casting some generic background actors. So we would love to have some more of the fans involved.
Yes,
so that would be
fans are
cool.
an important piece.
So we'd like to have more of the fans than just regular actors. But right now it looks like we're going to probably.
You want to do another sneak peek, Tony?
We're going to do another sneak peek. But we're going to have like 5 actors, I think, that we're going to end up come on. So.
Yep. So ready for a sneak peek? It's going to take me a second. One
Sneak
second.
peek.
Ready? Bam.
Right.
And
Do
then bam. And then is it full screen yet? No, that's not full screen. Bam. This is a sneak peek of another one of our CG artists' renditions.
Wow, that's cool. Look at that.
Just the lighting on that is just, I don't know if you get to appreciate things like lighting. So you watch the lighting when the explosion goes off. Oh, it's just amazing.
Yep. So that's a sneak peek, guys. And this is, remember that this is just a small part of what we're putting together, right? So
Yep.
we have talent, we have actors that have volunteered, that have stepped up, that are award-winning actors that are going to be in this. So we're sharing some of this CG with you because we're very proud of the work that Chris and Chuck have done for
That's
us.
amazing.
That little scene that you just saw was written, right? Was written out by Chris and myself, and Chris Marshall and Chuck Davenport were able to make that come to life.
Yeah,
And
they
of course they used
take our
their
vision
own,
and make it come to life,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
it's so
And so that's
exciting
just
when
a
you see
quick
that.
peek.
Yeah.
But like I said, Tiny Bean Tara is going to be in this, and we're so happy to have her on board. And we're going to have all the actors come on, and you'll get to know them. That's the point, right? Bring them on.
Yep.
You guys get to know who they are, and then when we actually do this, guys, you're going to be impressed. It's a great story, and it's going to be cool. That's
Yeah,
right.
it's all there is
gonna be
to
fun.
it. It's
Yeah.
even if it's going to be so fun. It's going to be so much fun that it's it's going to. I'm extremely excited. I mean, we're getting closer and closer day by day, and it's just the more things we look at, the more things we have to get. Of course, the uniforms and things like that to come in, and you start looking at the uniforms.
yeah.
You're like, oh my gosh! I mean, just these things, coming in. The little the collar devices. You're like, oh, this is a detail that we want. We want to get this in there. We want to get. We've got some cool nods to different things in the show that I think you'll enjoy as well. Oh, excuse me. Yep. So, and that's the patch that was on the shoulder pad of Martin's uniform that Vela
battle
during
jacket.
the Mo.
Yep.
Vela during the show.
Yep.
Has it over her hand or her forearm, and you just get a quick glimpse at it, and here we are creating an entire storyline
backstory.
Just from one scene in that movie or that episode. One scene in that episode, where like you ask yourself, how did that happen? How did he get there? Who was Martin? Why isn't anybody looking for him? What happened? All those questions that come to mind, we now have the ability to answer in a movie. A fan
That's
movie,
right, and we
but
will.
A movie.
All of it. All of it's covered, and it's going to be great. We're going to have a great time. Dave, thanks for joining us. Our good friend David Francoeur, who's taken his time out to film a couple of spots to help promote The Stranded Warrior. Thank you very much, David. He is a master of his own sci-fi fandom. He creates these awesome, just beautiful actual renditions of scenes, and he is able to insert himself in. He has the costumes, and he does. That's one of his hobbies. And when you see his work, which is on Facebook, join him on his Facebook page. You're going to see, and it's awesome because you get a kick out of it. If you're not paying attention, sometimes I remember when I first started seeing his work, I would kind of like just look at your Facebook feed and you'd be like, wait a minute, that was Space 1999.
Yeah.
But what? Oh, yeah. Dave, he put himself in that. Battlestar Galactica, he put himself in that. In various shows that we all grew up with and love. And Dave, just inserts himself. He has other friends and other cosplayers, and he manipulates the backgrounds, and they're seamless. So it's just really, really cool. So thank you again, Dave, for your support. Really appreciate it. And everybody else that's actually joined the TSW brigade, right?
Yes.
We have a lot of orders. A lot of you have actually donated, and we thank you very much for that. And we hope that the rest of you can come on and throw whatever you can, whether it's advertising, if whatever it is, give us a hand so that we can make this production as best as as good as it should be, right? It's going to be great either way, one way or the other, but it can be just that much more better, right? With your help. Right, the idea is that we want to show that the fandom, wants this. We want to show that the fandom is readily involved in this, that it's not just a thing that a couple of us got together and want to do. We want to show that the fandom is really interested, and that goes a long way, guys. So Eric Padden says, exploring Martin's background is one of the great parts of a fan creativity. We can come up with all kinds of possible explanations. My fanfic had him coming from the Pegasus. Yes.
That's kind of cool.
Yep, it is. Ours is different than that, but that's cool. Just like Professor Padden says, it's all about creativity and just seeing where and what can happen. Tracy, thank you for joining us. Jeff and Dave. Dave says you guys are very welcome. Kim, of course. Richard loved that episode. I'm sure he would love what you're doing. We hope so.
We have some nods. We have some nods to Richard in the episode, actually. So we wrote those in specifically.
Yes.
You will recognize. Most of you will recognize those scenes when they come.
Yes, and of course, this is ultimately going to be dedicated to Glenn Larson.
Glenn Larson, yeah.
Without him and his vision, obviously we wouldn't be here. There would be no IFB. There would be no Galactica Classic or Reimagined or any of the franchise itself. So we are very, very grateful to everybody for supporting. Chris, what if anything, have you decided on in terms of conventions? I know that.
I know a couple of conventions have opened up, so we always apply for some press conventions, some press passes for those conventions. So I know the most recent convention that opened up, Dragon Con has opened up for a convention. If you haven't seen some of our stuff from Dragon Con, please get a chance to check a couple of our things out. But we will be in force at Dragon Con. I think a large number of our fans, or I should say BSG fans, will also be there. And I think you'll find that it's great to have a community there. So Dragon Con is one of our big pushes. Awesome Con has just sent out their thing in regards to Press Pass open up, and we've also started drafting up a submission for a panel or two is in there as well. And I think we've looked at a couple of other different ones, but things we've been really pushing towards the movie lately. So I'm not sure. Pete, do we have any other ones I missed?
Yeah, well, there's you mentioned Awesome Con.
Yeah.
I know that Big Lick, the one by you, did that come and go yet? I know that they were...
The Norfolk one's coming up, though.
Okay, Norfolk one's coming up. There's Big Apple Cons are coming up. There is a Star Trek convention coming up in Long Island, New York, and they're going to have, I think 5 celebrities. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to try to get out there with John 1. However, we're really looking at doing... actually, don't forget that we're going to be going to the non-sports card show that's outside of PA, and so we're going to be attending that. We're going to be doing the show from there, some live broadcasts and interviews, and we're going to have a lot of fun with that. That'll be our first one. Remember, we had
I haven't been to one yet, so that'll be fun. And we did cards last week in regards to Magnum PI.
We did TV cards, but we had one of the publishing editors of the non-sports card review who's directly involved with that convention. So we're going to be doing that one. We're going to do Awesome Con. We're going to do New York Comic Con. We're doing Dragon Con, and there might be a couple of the smaller ones that we're going to actually go to as well, local stuff. So that'll be quite. What are you doing? What is that?
It's a Klingon. Literally.
Oh my god.
What do you think, Tank?
Oh my god. Okay.
That was she will not be ignored.
Obviously not.
She's Alien Kitty. If you can ever see her eyeballs, they're huge.
Oh my
So,
God. Okay, you can
sorry.
keep that there. That's fine. All Con in Dallas. That's right.
Yes.
All
Oh,
Con in
yeah. Let's not
Dallas.
forget about that. So,
Yep, the chief,
Team
crew chief
BSG. Yep.
Mike DeBruin just mentioned that. So I know that Carl Cullen Schmidt is going to be there
Yep.
with George Mellis, and BSG Team Viper will be there doing their thing. And let's not forget that. James Donaldson, thank you for joining us live. Appreciate it. And yeah, there's a bunch of stuff going on,
Yep.
which is perfectly fine.
So.
And Trouble with Tribbles the cat.
Yeah,
That's for Mike.
she's a love bug,
Oh,
so she's had it
oh,
rough the
that's
last
okay.
couple of weeks, so she's
All right, that's okay.
yeah.
We forgive. Yeah. So we got a lot of that stuff going on. So besides the convention scene, which is coming up, we always get a lot of content when we get the conventions. We love doing the interviews and catching up with various cosplayers and the like. That's always a lot of fun. So we really enjoy doing that. And so that's on the horizon, guys. And of course, all our extra free time is we're going to be going to a whole other phase of production when the pre-production phase when it comes to doing a movie, any kind of movie, whether it be a fan film like ours or any other type of movie itself. So we're constantly, I mean, every day, guys, every day it's a series of phone calls. As a matter of fact, we're getting ready to lock in our second AD, and the production manager called me earlier before talking about the fact that we have another production assistant. So if it all plays out, it'll be perfect because we hope to have 4 production assistants on set for both days of our shoot, which would be very helpful.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that people don't realize how many people are behind the scenes, how many people are, there's a person that runs and gets coffee, or runs and gets food, or runs and gets, and those kind of. There's a person who's standing there with the script, who is checking to see, hey, we changed that scene, and this is the wording that was changed on that scene. Somebody's there checking to see which we run a scene, and you shoot multiple different shots on it. There's a person there logging the scenes, so we have the ability to later on actually edit those scenes. So, yeah, this is not the iPhone production that a lot of people do. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that. But we really wanted to go all out to make this something great for the fans.
Yes, and use, like we said, state-of-the-art Blackmagic cameras, and the right lighting, the right filters, the right settings, and whether we're going to shoot at 6K raw and then bring it down to 4 and render it afterwards. We're working on all of that now as we speak. That's part of where we're going, and so it's a process, guys. It's one heck of a process,
but
and getting
exciting.
the equipment is really something.
But it's also frightening when you start looking at the costs. So,
the props. Look, it's not about we said this before. No one gets paid on this production. However, the expendables, right? To make that Cylon dagger, it's not about the hours that someone put in, which we are grateful for.
Yes.
I'm just talking about the fact that the materials that it took to make that have to be accounted for. Yep. Right. So the test run that didn't work out right, the third, the second one that melted, the third one was the charm, and then we had to get 2 runs on that. All of that filament that had to be used up, that has to be paid for, right? I mean, it's one thing to volunteer your time and your equipment to do it, but the actual component that makes that, we have to actually pay for that, right? So all of that, the paint that goes on it, whatever we needed to get to make that, or whatever that screw or whatever that is that goes into that, all those little things, they have to be paid for. So that's where you wonder, like, oh well, what do you do with the money? How do you where does it go? Well, there's a breakdown for it, and we have a really good outline that we worked on at the Indiegogo site, the Stranded Warrior. And we want to, again, thank everybody that has supported us financially. We really appreciate it. And we also want to thank everybody that's helping us every way they can. So whether it's by sharing, whether it's by getting the word out,
creating a video
people
like
like
Mr. Frank Orr.
Dave making the videos, it's and Chuck and Chris that actually make the
amazing
CG
sci-fi
stuff.
yeah,
So yeah,
CGI
it's
stuff
really
is
really
amazing.
cool, guys. So again, thank you to everybody that's supporting. We're gonna make you proud. It's gonna
Yes.
be one heck of a production, and thank all the actors that have signed on to do this. We're really really proud and honored to have you.
And we can't wait to introduce those people to you. It's
Oh
gonna be
yeah,
fun.
you're gonna flip when you see the talent that is involved is just incredible, guys. The talent is incredible. I mean, from the director of photography is an Emmy-winning tech in the industry that's volunteered. I mean, he's just big sci-fi fan, big Battlestar Galactica fan. He's a co-producer here at IFB. George Giacomis, he's on board. He's going to be there with us, working as we speak. He's always reading the script and going over it, and thinking about the shot list and all that stuff. I mean, it's really humbling the amount. We told you earlier today, right, Chris, when we first started, we have 2 modelers that have volunteered to come out and work with us. Yeah, and we have another who's actually another CG guy, and he's looking to come on as well. And then, I'm sure there'll be more. So we're just thank you. Thank you very much. Jeff Walters wants to know, so is this going to take place before the original show started? And if so, is it going to betray anything about the... yes, it's a prequel, Jeff. It is a prequel to the episode that you saw. So we're going to meet Captain Martin. We'll meet him, and you'll get his whole backstory the way we saw it, the way we decided it would play out. And it's going to answer those questions. Why was he left? Why didn't they come and get him? Why wasn't there, search and rescue? Why did he end up, alone? How
what were they
did
doing
all that
there?
play out?
Yeah, what were they doing out there?
Yeah. What was the purpose? He didn't fly out there by himself, right? I mean, it was one Viper, and we gave him rank. We gave him rank because of how easy it was to recognize Apollo and his rank. Right. So that's how we kind of tied it together. So you'll see, it's going to be really cool backstory to everybody, and where they came from and why, and we delved into a little bit of the culture, subculture of what it's like.
We weren't really far into the culture stuff, so.
Oh yeah. Chris went dived totally 2 feet in, and did a lot of research. So
we crossed a little bit with the Caprica show, the show Caprica as well. So we pulled some of that culture in. I don't think we pulled much from the 2004 episodes, but the Caprica was more of a prequel of everything. So Caprica came out before all of the stuff. Even in the timeline wise, it would have been pre Battlestar Galactica type timeline. So we pulled some information from there. And we pulled some information from the original series, and then of course we made up some information that we didn't know. And then we created some different things like the collar devices, and I wish I could tell you the other things we did, but that would give away so much other cool stuff. So we created a horrible dagger over there. But,
yes, we did. Yes,
it just vibrates in the box. Thank God there's some aluminum foil on the top of that box, by the way.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. John Repper, thanks for watching. David Lamont, thank you for joining us live. We're just talking a little bit about The Stranded Warrior, our own production that we're doing a fan film. And Eric, it was kind of odd that the planet knew about warriors but had no concept of the Cylons. which means they really had to have been cut off, and we explain that in our version of the story. So, we spent
explain that. Too bad we don't. We may get the. If we don't get to part 2, we'll go ahead and put the part 2.
Yeah, we'll put the part 2
script out or something. But the part
we'll put
1,
the whole story out.
Yeah,
we're gonna do a documentary. We'll do a behind the scenes type of thing, and we'll.
Yeah,
we'll
I got 360 cameras, so I'm gonna actually shoot 3. I'm gonna mount those cameras on top of our recording cameras, so you can actually see. You'll be able to watch 360 degrees all the way around to see how the production went together. So it's going to be fun and exciting.
Yes.
And we'll go live from on set as well. So we'll have some.
Oh, we will.
It's only a couple of days, but we'll definitely go live from on set to talk about. We won't leak anything out. So sorry, that's just the way it works. We don't want you.
But you're going to get to see actors dressed up in bridge crew uniforms and colonial warriors, and it's going to be awesome. It'll be glorious. We're going to have such a good time
stabbings and blood and
stop.
That's my vision. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Oh boy. But anyway, it's going to be great. We're going to have a really, really good time with this. We're lucky that we have a great location and the support of great actors and co-producers like George Zuvalos. We are very, very grateful for all of his support. He is, of course, starring in this, and he's just coming off of finishing up his feature-length movie, Once a Week for Life, which we are involved in as well. And so we're grateful that he took our project on to star in, even though he'll be editing. He'll be in the post-production of his own feature-length movie, and it's going to be awesome. We're going to have such a good time. Yeah, it's going to be great.
Yep.
So, guys, that's kind of...
I just before we go, Pete, I just wanted to mention that I wanted to thank Chris for thinking of me in my time of need. I just lost my wife, and he actually he's in the process of creating a actual ship that represents her. The Valkyrie, remember the original episode where they talked about the crafts. I just found the great thing on the. I found some Valkron on a barge or whatever else. So I just wanted to thank those people who are reaching out to me to say they support me and help me out. And Pete, you're one of them as well during times of need. This has been a trying point for me, but thanks. The fans do feel the fleet, and the fans feel the friendship. So thank you.
Absolutely. We have our condolences, Chris. I didn't know if you were going to share that with everybody, but you took the time out to come here and be with everybody, and there's been a lot of support, and you got to hang in there, and these are the trials and tribulations of life.
There's always a test.
She's in a better place, that's for sure. So, Fran, thanks for tuning.
Hey, Fran. Thanks again, Superfan Fran.
Thank you, Fran. Appreciate it. Everybody sending, of course, condolences, Chris. And thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. And stay safe, stay well. You know where to find us. If you have anybody
that doesn't sound right. You know where to find us.
Yes, you do. It's info at
InterfleetBroadcasting.com.
Info at InterfleetBroadcasting.com. And our Facebook page, and you guys, most of you just IM us instead of using the email.
And we try to answer as many as we can, as fast as we can. So we really appreciate you reaching out.
Yeah, so thanks, guys. We appreciate you. Just tell everybody out there what we're up to, and stay safe. We'll see you again soon. We have guests. We have guests lined up. John One is taking care of that. We got guests lined up for months.
Yeah, do you remember who's next week?
As a matter of fact, it's
good catch, by the way. I almost forgot.
It's Cade, another author. We also have somebody from a character from Star Trek. is going to be coming onto the show. So stay tuned for that. We have a bunch of authors. We have a filmmaker that I went to film school with that actually teaches film production. Will be with us in April, Mr. Mike May. Honored and happy to have Mike with us.
That's gonna be cool.
He's going to tell us about what it's like to teach filmmaking to the younger generation. So he'll be on. He produced his own feature-length movie called Multiplex. And for the record, Chris, I brought this up before. Mike May was a child actor, and as a young person, he was involved in a pilot that was being greenlit, and I'll let him tell the rest of the story.
Oh, yeah.
He was very close to being to getting his own series on TV. Yeah. So anyway, we got a lot of stuff going on. Again, thank you, John One. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate your words of kindness to Chris and his loss. So may her memory be eternal, Chris, as the Greeks would say. So with that said, fans fuel the fleet.
Yep.
All the
fans
best.
Fuel the fleet. And here's to you, Colleen.
To you and your family.